Right.
Is there a possibility of holding a special town financial meeting like Westport did after the fact?
No, they said no last night because it costs so much money to have a town meeting. They had mentioned that.
I think it's something we need to address Monday.
Yes.
With the council and just express our,
Difficulty.
again, I don't want to speak, the committee speaks for you, but I think we need to relay that September date, if that were to ever come to pass, would be difficult to approve.
My recall is the state has a revenue committee that meets twice a year,
Yeah, they meet
December and May,
November,
and then May. So May is probably the date the new numbers would come out from the state of how bad Rhode Island is as far as revenue.
They will have, that's what they'll base their revenue projections on. They'll use those revenue projections, when they build it up to that.
So that'll give us the blood pressure, I guess. It won't give us a number maybe of what the town is going to get and what the schools are going to get.
Still going to tell you what's going to happen.
But I think we'll know whether it's healthy or not healthy.
Well, we already know it's not going to be healthy.
But how unhealthy is it?
Yeah.
I think we
no
need
matter
the
where we
extra
sit, it
time.
doesn't look
Right.
good. But I think the more time you can
The
get,
more time we can get to get the real numbers.
at least through the end of June, mid-July, is beneficial.
And I said
It's
that
that
last
optimum
night.
time for us.
Right.
But we're only part of the whole equation in terms.
So basically, some of these things will be addressed on Monday with the budget committee, with the town council.
Could we come up with a timeline for, depending upon how our negotiations go, if we indeed did have a financial town meeting by May, where would we be? Because we're meeting every other week and perhaps would have to have additional meetings to actually get a formal number by the FTM.
Once we get closer, I guess we might be meeting, if necessary, twice a week.
Yeah, we can, it's up to the committee as far as how they, when they want to meet, how many times they want to meet. Again,
Prior to the FTM, we have to have it done.
Again, normally it's submitted by, in the past, April 30th. So I always like to go a week early. I'd say by the 21st,
Okay.
by the 20, somewhere around there.
But we've cut our budget in the half an hour before the meeting.
We have,
to bring it
but
down
to get
where
the
it
number,
needs to be.
get a number for the purpose of printing.
I would like to think about these decisions as we're doing and not do it simply because it's a number. I'd like to have these discussions about the ramifications of things that we're considering and not be under the gun as much as possible. So,
I think it's also important that way before financial town meeting, we make everyone aware what, based on the numbers we have, what are the ramifications of some of these cuts. Because people have to know what they are voting for as opposed to one number versus another number.
Right.
So we should have some meetings or even maybe a workshop at some point. The public can speak,
Talk
ask
about
questions, and
so we were kind of considering April 1st as our deadline, regardless of what's happening on our negotiation side, to start looking
I would
at.
be, as I said at the last meeting, I believe I used the 15th of April. I think that would be our drop dead date.
April 1st,
Well, no.
15th and 3.
Before the 21st, if we're submitting our final document.
Oh, just 1 week, yeah.
That seems rather rushed.
Where would we be submitting our final document?
Budget.
They already voted to give us $1 more. Why submit anything else?
Well, we need to submit a
To follow
number
the process.
well, we need a number to
Our
submit for the
requested number.
purposes of printing.
Our
We want our requested
Our
number
requested number
on the
has to be out
document.
Okay.
That would be the.
So we need a top line number.
Oh, it's not an issue of negotiating anything.
Yeah.
It's the purpose of telling people this is what we're requesting.
And when we speak about negotiations, we're also speaking about the council 94, right? Because they open things up
That's correct.
and administrators go with the teachers.
That's correct.
So everyone should know it's not just the teachers.
As far as the timeline, that's really good. I don't want to answer the question. I believe we should have a timeline as to what, assuming May 8th will be the date.
Well, if the question is a negotiation question, that should be an executive session. If it's a budget question, it has to be an open session. So,
Well, it's a budget question.
Budget question.
Well, 15 is the absolute deadline, we have 3 weeks.
Well, it's up to the committee. I'm, even though what Len just said, I can't, I don't know how we separate the two. Do one without the other. Unless the mediation falls apart, and I don't want to even talk about that, because I shouldn't talk about mediation at all, but depending on how mediation goes, will impact the decisions you make. Right. The best way to put it.
But we still have to know what is the.
But you as a committee need timelines in your head as to when things are going to trigger, as far as when do you want to say to the public, okay, we need X. And
Do we know when the town council might hear about the date for the financial town meeting?
they're going to, according to the agenda that we were sent, they're going to address it after us on Monday night.
They're going to vote on it.
I don't know whether they're going to take a vote, but since it's on the agenda. So Monday, possibly.
So it's possible that two weeks from now, or at our next regular meeting, we will know if the financial town meeting is being postponed.
Yeah, I think so. They vote Monday.
I
don't know about appeals or, process on the town, so it needs to be done per se, but we would know about the vote that was taken.
the agenda item says proposed legislation.
Yeah, excuse me, they have to
That's the general
request
assembly.
from the General Assembly.
Okay.
So it'll be
So
enacted
you could find out sometime in
legislation.
2013.
Right. They have to pass that.
I think we should have our own timeline, regardless of what happens. And this timeline should aim for May 8th. Obviously, if this
Okay.
changes, then we can change it.
Okay.
We cannot just drag our feet. So if our deadline is April 15th, because what's the deadline for the number to be printed on the docket? You don't want to announce this number saying, well, everyone, please
I
write
will
down
ask
the
the
number.
town clerk for the
Right,
actual
ask the
date. And I don't know it used to be by the end of April, we used to submit it. And they need a couple weeks for training. I think it's 10 days to publish the number. So,
But it's April, so this means.
back into April.
There's a requirement for a public meeting
Right.
by the budget committee prior to the financial town meeting, and it has to be printed for that meeting.
Right.
We can go look at the town charter, figure out exactly when it has to be printed, and ask the clerk.
We should find out what these dates are, but,
You can ask them when you know.
and by April 15th, the latest, we should have
Yes.
our numbers.
Right.
And I think we should talk about, what kind of meetings are we going to schedule? in
We can
terms
have a
of-
meeting the first Tuesday of April, and we can start talking about it. That's
Yep.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You can start talking, I'll put the list back together again and put a scenario together, or scenarios that gets us 1.1 million.
Do we want to schedule it in the form of a workshop or something like this?
If you want to take votes, it needs to be a
I know.
regular meeting, if it's just
I know, but
discussion.
somewhere a workshop
Yeah,
in between of that. What do you think?
Next Tuesday, we have a tentative mediation session.
We want to stick to that.
Well, no, but I would assume you can work around that. Hopefully we won't.